Welcome back to No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. As you can see, we kind of upgraded a little bit. We up here at the Gaming Society. We had to make the move to Venice because we got a special guest here with us today. Best dual threat quarterback the football has ever seen. If you disagree, fight me. I'm in a suburb of Los Angeles. I'm not gonna give you the exact location just in case you have hands and paws. But, first black quarterback drafted #1 overall in 2001 out of Vatech. That was my first time. I remember seeing you in '99 doing your thing. I was like, damn, who is this dude? I didn't know shit about Virginia back then, but I'm like, oh, okay.
Put us on the map.
Most definitely holds the NFL record for most career rushing yards for a quarterback, and now philanthropist, activist, motivational speaker, also doing his thing with the NFL on Fox crew. We got Mike Vick, Michael, Mike. What do you prefer?
Call me Mike, man. It's us. We the fellas, man.
Okay, all right.
Hanging out.
So, back in the day, it was like NFL Network. We was corporate. We had to call him Michael, or my white boss would chastise me and be like, nah, that's his name. So
white boss.
He was Caucasian.
If my mom heard people call me Mike, she's like, your name is Michael. I named you Michael. I didn't name you Mike. So so it's Mike now, man. Like I'm taking control of my life.
So we got a bunch. You got to take control. We got a bunch of stuff we're gonna get into you with, football and all that good stuff. But first thing I got to talk to you about, which I read a long time ago, and I was always fascinated about, because I got a similar addiction. You used to play with chapstick underneath your helmet. To keep your lips from getting ashy. Now we've seen in the NBA,
Ain't nothing like
KD,
white lips in a helmet.
KD had the ashy ankles. He needed the chapstick in the ankles.
KD had the ashy.
He needed to keep the chapstick in the sock. Just follow your lead. But I want to know, when did this chapstick addiction start?
You know what? I think it started in college, man. Like I found a little crease in the back of the helmet. I used to slide my chapstick up in. But it was more so because in Blacksburg, we used to practice, it used to be cold, and we had a bunch of dudes on our team who used to like to joke. Like, they gonna joke on you, bro. So white lips in the huddle, man. And I'm calling the plays, so everybody looking at me in the huddle, gun pro left, and then my lips white. They like, yo, bro, you break the huddle, my man, Jay Kendrick, get somebody, bro, your lips white as So one day I was like, man, this ain't gonna keep happening to me. So I think I tried Vaseline at first, and then so that's how the chapstick originated in the helmet, though. Just getting joked on in practice by my peers.
So I read somewhere that you were spending like $1,000 a year just on chapsticks too.
Oh yeah,
you
probably more than that. Yeah, couldn't keep up with them. I need one in every car. I need a couple in the locker room.
So many teammates get you to do.
They cost me, bro. They cost me bread.
All right, so want to switch and get to the football stuff. When you look at the NFL now, NFL is like roughly 70% black, right? But when you look at the quarterback position, I think the height was like last year in 2020, it was like 10 guys on roster starting at that point, which is not even 33%. But when you look at what you were able to do, kind of laying the foundation, quarterback is a dual threat quarterback, and these guys now, what do you notice is the differences from when you were playing to what's going on nowadays?
Well, definitely the game is faster, a lot faster. So you got guys on the defensive side of the ball that's moving, faster than the quarterbacks and just as fast as running backs and just as fast as the receivers. So it's kind of like, they take in maybe a guy who his whole life was a tight end, and he get to college and they put him at defensive end. So now you got this big, strong, athletic guy who can run, chasing down quarterbacks, and if you're not mobile, sometimes it can hurt guys. So I just see defenses evolving. The defenses are getting better. They playing different schemes that, if you don't understand what you're doing when you walk to the line of scrimmage, you get confused, and you're thinking a blitz coming from your right and they come from your left, and so they combining all these great, talented players, athletically with the scheme, and now it's affecting quarterback play. So now a lot of the dual threat quarterbacks are the guys who are having more success because they're able to get away from those guys who, are just rushing the pass or, beating the offensive lineman at the line of scrimmage and wrecking games, like an Aaron Donald, like an Aaron Donald type of defender.
So we got a lot of talented black quarterbacks in the league right now, but if you had to pick one, you the GM, you got to pick one to build your franchise around, who are you taking?
It's a good question. I'll be scratching my head because I want Lamar and I want Kyler. And then I'll try to weigh out the variables, the things that make, what differentiates Kyler from Lamar and vice versa. Damn, that'd be tough, man, because I know you can only pick one. You can only have one
So you
guy
got
behind
that
the
one,
center.
you know. If you can get two, then that's I feel like a Super Bowl, but you can only get one.
So I'll probably take Lamar because, like, I remember what my coaches did with me in 2002. Dan Reeves, y'all probably heard of Dan Reeves, Coach John Elway and Chris Chandler and those guys. But he drafted me and he used my talents correctly. I felt like he ran quarterback draws, quarterback sweeps. This back then, before it even became a dual threat type of thing. And I liked it because it made me successful. It made me comfortable, and I was able to get into the floor of the game, even if it was just by running for a first down, you know, not just, you know, throwing for a first down. You know, you get into a rhythm of the game, shooting, you got to hit a couple shots. Sometimes you get in the rhythm of a game just playing defense. So I was always looking for that, but yeah, I would take Lamar, and I would do some amazing things with him, and Kyler Murray too, and any other of those guys that I can get my hands on.
I'm taking Cam.
Ooh.
Young Cam is young Cam.
I'm saying,
right now?
But you can. I'm giving young Cam out of respect.
Even if you gave me Cam, if he wasn't in his prime, I'd still be able to make him a Pro Bowl player without a doubt, for sure. It's like we talked earlier about, you know, coaches being guys who played the game before, you know, played the game whether it's on any level, but I think when you played on a pro level and you know what it's like and you know what it takes, then you can kind of work around that. So, you know, whether young or old, man, I'm taking them there.
See, that's crazy because, you know, it's like, why aren't you on the coaching staff? Like, with this type of quarterback, like, like the person who knows this the best is this person.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you got Lamar, like, get Vick.
Yeah.
That's his mentor. It makes sense when you're an athlete. Like, it makes sense. But no, they're gonna have somebody else who's trying to tell them what to do.
Yeah, like, they got. I mean, and Lamar got good coaches. Like Greg Roman and you know, some of the coaches that's on the staff. You know, some of the coaches who coached me in Philly. Good coaches, so they understand. That's why Lamar's having the success he's having, because, you know, the coach that I spent time with, a guy named James Urban, who was with me in Philadelphia under Andy Reid, he coached me, and we was doing a little RPO stuff in Philadelphia, so he took that to Baltimore, but they enhanced it. So the same coach that coached Colin Kaepernick when he was in San Francisco is with Lamar now. So, you know, now you see the same type of things that Colin did early, Lamar doing it now, but you got to get lucky. You got to get the right coach with the right player, man.
Yeah, I want to hit a player. Like you can give me the coaches all you want, bro. I want the man who reminds me of me. Like, what did you do when they did this? What did you do when you did this? What hurt you?
Yeah.
How do I improve?
How you react in these situations? How you going? You know, it's always cool when you can sit down with a guy and say, especially when you've seen it before. Like, I've seen this before, but what did you see? Why did you make this decision? And then that's how you coach, that's how you teach.
But that's how you're supposed to get better.
Yes.
Like, you're supposed to get better. Like, coaching, y'all seen this, but you wasn't in that. Yeah, you coached Michael, but you wasn't in that actual moment when he had to make decisions. So I get to, as that player, hey, when you was here, what were you actually thinking? Right? So I've hit Kyrie. Like, yo, this move you did, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And only, like, I've listened to the coach, like, he had to dodge this person, he did this.
Right.
And listen to Kyrie, he's like, yeah, bro, I traveled.
Yeah.
He said, I misstepped.
Yeah.
He said, I misstepped and then just finished.
I just fucked up and finished.
Right.
Man, I put so much effort into this. All right, never mind, he misstepped. You know what I mean? But I've asked the coach and they were like, oh yeah, we work on this, and then here to play. Like, I just misstepped, bro. I was trying to do this.
Bro.
And like, oh yeah, that would have worked too. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would have worked too. But that's what I like, listening to the player that's in the moment versus, you know.
No, it hit me when you said it earlier. We was talking, and it's just like, coaches, you got to understand the player. You got to understand every facet of the game from the time you step on the field or the court until the time the game is over. Like, you got to be able to relate.
So I know if I was a quarterback in the league, I'd be bothering your ass all the time. I'm hitting you day and night. Do any of these guys reach out to you for advice? Are they texting you, calling you, getting in touch with you to try and just, you know, make themselves better?
They do in the beginning until they get the system of what they're running, and then they look at their system and say, oh, Mike can't help me with this. I mean, because I can't, because they open their playbook up and I don't understand none of their language.
Okay.
I don't understand what type of route concepts they running. I know nothing about what y'all doing. The only thing I can advise them on is how to study, how to prepare, how to get ready. Me and Lamar Jackson, we talked all the time when he was in college, because I was trying to get him ready for what he was gonna see and try to anticipate how things was gonna happen. And he was very successful because he was ready for all that. And it's unfortunate I don't get to talk to every guy like that, but me and Lamar, we created a bond when he was really young, and at Louisville. But the other guys, they kind of gotta come into it and find their way. But that's just the way it is. So, I mean, I would love to be able to coach quarterbacks and, especially in the off season when they coming out, give them a couple weeks and just get them ready. And it's not just about, going out and doing the physical. It's the mental. It's us sitting down in a room and going through some film, 5-man protections and 6-man protections. And if, they try to blitz you here, like, how would you change this protection? A lot of guys coaching right now, like coaching these guys coming out of college, they never played. Yeah. They never played the game. And these guys come into the league and they 2 steps behind. So it's unfortunate. A lot of these guys call themselves coaching gurus and they, quarterback gurus, and they think they know what they're doing, but how do you know what you're doing if you never played the game? Similar to what we talking about, that's why when you said it earlier, it was like, thank you, somebody's thinking like me. And it's starting to show up a lot more because these guys are taking 2 and 3 years to develop and get going.
What's so funny is NBA is different because like players that play like you, they'll hit me.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, we're going against this. Like they doubling more. What did you do?
Right.
When they started doubling.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, who's doubling?
Yeah.
The big man is another guard. Where's he coming from? He's coming from the left side, right side. Right. Is that affecting your shot?
Yeah.
Well, then you need to train. Like what did you like? Yo, go when you're playing. Because in practice, because you're not playing against your own offense, it's like, yo, just grab 2 guys, a small and a big, and then just have them double. You play one-on-one.
Yeah.
So you can understand where it's coming from.
Right.
Understand, okay, I need to beat him. He doesn't understand what defense is going behind. So sometimes when that defense is coming, you can go.
Yeah.
Right? So, teaching like Dame, all right, it's like chess. Set up your pick and roll. Like I noticed you shoot like damn near from the half court first. Mm-hmm. Why? So he tells me why.
Yeah.
And then I can say, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
You want to shoot this first one, so the defense like, oh shit, he's pulling up from there.
Shoot from deep.
So now you guarded me there. Now my pick and roll starts here. Now I got more room to run at this big man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cool. Nice.
So we sit there and like I want to learn the new style.
Yeah.
I got a son too, so I got to teach him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like picking brains. Like, Kyrie, when you drive, what do you look at? I look at feet. Because you can't move without your feet. Everyone used to talk about hip. Can't move without your feet.
Tell you what.
So I need to see you bow-legged, you this, you that.
You gotta see everything. You gotta see everything.
So we talked about it, like what, this referee versus this. So, in basketball, we give more information if it's
cover all grounds.
So like I talked to, Kyrie, talked to KD. Usually KD is about, ranking.
Yeah.
Where you rank at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you doing in your off time, shooting? Why do you think you're number 1 versus number 2?
Now, I will say this. I talk to a lot of guys around the league, running backs, receive, because a lot of guys just want to know, like, how do I get it?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, just you pulled it down and ran. You was like me. When I caught the ball, I got to get low. I got to do me. So I think just from that standpoint, it's so cool to be able to teach the next generation, how to have that advantage and that edge. It's super cool.
So I got to ask you, when did you realize that you were a cheat code? Like, was there a moment when you were young?
I like the word cheat code.
Yeah, you was.
I can't take credit for it.
2004 Madden cheat code.
But, when did you, was it, Pee Wee level was somewhere with just like, nobody's going to be able to stop
it. It was definitely not, even in college, like I was like, man, this shit easy as hell. You know what I mean? But I know I worked really hard in the off season, but I'm like, man, I didn't see Charlie Ward dominate like this. I didn't see, let me see, I used to watch guys like Tony Ryan. I seen Donovan dominate, but to me it just felt so easy. And then I, 2 years and I was gone. Mm-hmm. And even when I got to the league, like it's another level. So everything changed and I'm like, all right, now I gotta revamp. I gotta, You know, I got to find my niche. I got to find out how can I be successful, you know, when I step behind the center. And my rookie year, I kind of realized, like, yo, I got to change a lot of things, because I mean, I wasn't ready. Played against Brian Urlacher and the Bears and a couple of teams that just looked like I never played the game before. But that second year, when second year came around, and I had all the reps to match and had the chance to spend time with all my my teammates and throw in the off season and, you know, learn what the offense really was about, I took off. But I still felt like next year they might pick up on what we're doing. So that's only one season. Year 3 got to be better. Year 4 got to be even better. I went to the NFC Championship game, year 5. And then I started to look back and be like, especially after the NFC Championship year in 2004, I was like, man, that was really easy. It was easy to get there. I expected to get back, but you know, I never made it back. So that might have been the time I started to realize, like, yo, this game is easy, cheat code, like whatever you want to call it. And then, you know, I kind of got humbled because it was hard to get back there for the next 10 years of my career.
It was a cheat code, bro. I had Madden. I had Madden, bro.
It was definitely a disadvantage.
Yes,
anybody who didn't play with the Falcons outside of Atlanta.
Were you playing the game were you using yourself as quarterback on that game?
Nah. I tried to, man, but I could never control myself because I always wanted to take off. I wanted to do what other guys was doing when they played me. So if I played you get, because I like the pocket passes. So I'm like, in my heart, I'm like a pocket passer at heart.
Yeah.
I'm Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm Peyton Manning. Like, when I line up, I ain't thinking about scrambling and running. I'm thinking about throwing it like Drew from the pocket. You know, so that was always my mindset when I played. Like, I want to be a precise passer. So when I pulled it down and ran it, man, it was just like, you know, that was just a part of my game. But if I played you in Madden and you got me and I got Peyton, and you gonna annihilate me, like, you gonna kill me, you gonna beat me.
I'm gonna kill you,
so
bro.
I'm like, when you leave my house, I'm like, oh, I'm about to do what Gilbert did.
Yeah. I do Hail Mary, run everybody straight left down the field, and
But here's the thing, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it with myself, so I'd never play with myself on the game because I couldn't control myself on the game. It's crazy.
It's because it's like when you're playing a game, you want to do what you don't do.
Right.
You want to do what you don't do. It's like when I play with myself, I'm passing the ball.
Right.
Let me try to get 20 assists.
Yeah. You want something different.
I'm trying to get 20 assists and not realizing it's the same team you play with in real life.
Right.
They can't score like that.
No, but
Ain't no 20 assists coming out of this, bro.
This is my wishful thinking. This, in an ideal world, if I could line up and this is how I wanted to be, I wanted to be like you. I want my teammates to be involved. I want to spread the ball around, and I want to sit back and throw for 4 touchdowns and 450 yards, and I ain't got to run a lick today.
Yeah.
That's how I wanted it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's how I wanted it.
That's crazy because, you know, when you're playing a game and you're doing what you do, they're thinking you're doing it because of a selfish part of it, and not realizing, this is just my talent. I can't control it. Like, I got to make split decisions.
It's circumstantial.
Yeah, so when you hit me and my brain says, go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. It ain't got nothing to do with.
Well, I feel this pressure from right here. Oh, I got to slide up, or I got to go. I seen, the first down was right there. I just went and got it. But when next time we line up, if it's a pass right and I'm looking, he open. Oh, he open. I'm gonna do this until you can't take it no more.
Like, I remember,
this is the easiest way to advance the ball.
I remember someone was I heard critics like, yo, he need to pass the ball more, right? So I was like, you know what? Yeah, they probably right. Get my teammates involved. And I went out there, non-aggressive, trying to just 5 assists.
Yeah.
Five assists. I'm like, I take 20 shots to do that.
Yeah.
5 assists. I took 4 shots. 5 assists. Like, no, this is
this ain't it. This ain't it. I can relate. On all levels, man.
Like, I'm about to make 30 passes, they get 400 yards, and that's not how that works.
Wishful thinking. For sure. Wishful thinking.
This episode of No Chill is brought to you by 8 Sleep. Good sleep is an ultimate game changer. More than 30% of Americans struggle with sleep, and temperature is one of the main causes of poor sleep. If I work out at the gym all day I'm still going to be running hot when I hit that pillow. And I got tired of a hot mattress making me not tired. Now I am falling asleep in record time faster than I have before. All thanks to my 8 Sleep Pod Pro Cover. The Pod Pro Cover by 8 Sleep is the most advanced solution on the market for thermal regulation. It pairs dynamic cooling and heating with biometric tracking. You can add the cover to any mattress and start sleeping as cool as 55 degrees or as hot as 110 degrees. The temperature of the cover will adjust each side of the bed based on your sleep stages. Biometrics and bedroom temperature reacting intelligently to create the optimal sleeping environment. The result? 8 Sleep users fall asleep up to 32% faster and reduce sleep interruption by 40%. Pod Pro Cover by 8 Sleep is being used by the top athletes like me all over the world, including 2021 fitness man on earth, Justin Medeiros. Good sleep is the ultimate game changer for recovery. And now you can go to 8sleep.com/no-chill to check out the Pod Pro Cover and save $150 at checkout. That's 8sleep.com/no-chill.
So I want to talk to you about your college experience. You go to a national championship game your redshirt freshman year. I sat back and watched that game last night, and it's a couple. Honestly, special teams was kind of they was hurting you. I'm just gonna be real. But I'm not trying to point the finger at nobody. But that game was closer than what it appeared. But you led the comeback, and you're the man now. Sports Illustrated articles. What's that like for you coming back to college that next year as just that dude? Like what is that feeling like?
I came back with a lot of pressure. Because, you do that in a season, and you go to the national championship, and everything go as planned. And then you got to come back and duplicate that. Now you're a Heisman Trophy candidate, and now the whole world watching, and now you first team All-American this, and you got all these accolades. Now you got to live up to it. So for me, it was coming back and not being that guy that, didn't deserve to be in that spot. Like I felt like I worked hard for that, but man, I'm not about to let this defense take it away from me. I'm not about to go out and look like some trash this year. So the pressure was on me to perform again, which I put so much pressure on myself. Like I ain't tell nobody, but I was really trying to win the Heisman. I'm like, I'm gonna get the Heisman Trophy because I went the year before, but everything out of line right. One injury, I got hurt, and then it knocked me out the race. So after that, I was, I had a good year. I didn't feel like my second year was as good as my first year because it's hard to duplicate that type of success, but I still had enough success to where I can go in and enter the draft. And even though I didn't want to enter the draft neither, I wanted to come back for a third year and try to win that Heisman. And I wasn't ready to go, man. I wanted to top all stats. I wanted to be number one in everything, and pound for pound, everything in the weight room, and I wanted to conquer all Virginia Tech records, but, I had to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go. I had to go get that money.
It's a third year.
I was sitting courtside watching you, Gilbert, the next year. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting courtside watching you versus Allen Iverson. You know what I mean?
So you talk about AI, you both from Newport News. Everybody, that I talked to said that you were the best player to come out there, and he's second. Did you get a chance to see him play football at all in high school?
Yeah.
How big was he in that moment?
Yeah, he was good, but he chose the right sport.
Yeah.
He chose the right sport. I ain't gonna lie to you. His frame won't, I'm pretty sure if he would have put some time into it and worked on his body and tried to build his body up, he could have became a profound football player, but, his calling was basketball. Now, he had moves, though. Like, he was special. He was special, but I just, it's a different game. Yeah, it's a different game.
So it was three of you guys out there?
It was AI first. He killed it at Bethel, and then Ronald Curry came. Man, it was the same year. Me and Ronald was freshmen together.
Okay.
But Allen was like 4 years before us.
Oh, okay.
So
because I remember Ronald on the basketball scene. We kept hearing him like, he's number one in basketball.
Oh, yeah, they was talking about him coming out for the draft. He was going to enter the draft early.
They did the McDonald's game at his high school, right?
Yeah, they did it at
so he was thinking about coming straight out of high school.
Yep. Yeah. But, I think his jump shot was, he just needed to work on his jump shot, I think, at the time. That was my boy. Shout out to Ronald Curry.
What's so funny? He would have been like top 10, 10.
Yeah, he, for some reason, he ended up going to UVA. And the whole basketball thing just went out the window.
He went to UVA. I thought
So
he
he
went
went North Carolina. Then he might have ended up.
Oh, you know, he committed to UVA, and then he went to North Carolina, yeah.
So when you look back coming out after your sophomore season, do you ever regret, just from a maturity standpoint, do you think it would have benefited your career more just that extra year in college? Or is it like, yo, I'm just getting this bag and I'm not even gonna worry about it?
Yeah, well, I think just in the passing game, understanding more about defenses and how defenses is gonna play me, on a consistent basis. Because I started to see a trend, especially in college, like teams trying to, play robber coverage and trying to put a spy on me. So I knew at some point when I took the next step to the next level, I would see the same type of defenses, and it was real gimmicky, and it was like, I kind of helped change the game on the defensive side of the ball too, in regards to how they play quarterbacks like myself and Donovan, for years, and it was because we was elusive. Mm-hmm. But I would have probably learned more in the passing game, but I started to look at it like, man, what more can I accomplish? What's next? If we don't win the national championship, and we had a great recruiting class coming in. We had D'Angelo Hall coming in, Kevin, what was his name? Not Kevin Johnson, but we had the top running back coming in from. He ended up playing for the Detroit Lions for a couple years. Kevin Jones. I might not ring a bell, but he ended up going first round. D'Angelo Hall went first round, and so we had guys coming in. It's just. You got to look at your overall circumstances, and man, I had to get up out of there. I had to go.
Let's get this 2001 NFL draft. Chargers got the #1 pick. Draft, they didn't make the trade to the Falcons. You find out that you're going to Atlanta. How exciting? Look, there's tons of cities I'm sure NFL cities motherfuckers ain't trying to go to.
Yeah,
I can name a few. I can name a few off the top of my head. And then I look at one like Atlanta.
I was just like, yo, my mom get to come watch me play.
Okay.
Like, that's all I thought. When that trade happened, like 10 o'clock the night before the draft, like, I'm sitting there, we chopping it up, me and my boys, we in there eating pizza, chilling, watching pre-draft highlights or whatever was going on. And then my phone rang, and my agent, for 4 months, I'm like, you going to the Chargers. I'm like, cool. And then house shopping and everything. Mm-hmm. So, like, my agent, like, you might be getting traded. I'm like, where? Like, first he was like, bro, Atlanta might move from 5 and come down. And so I wasn't trying to get too worked up about it or believe in that it was actually about to happen, because, anything could happen. But the whole time I'm like counting my money, like, damn, that's gonna save me a lot of money. Cross-country flights from, from Virginia to San Diego. You're looking at $1,500 a flight, round trip, times 6 people coming, 8,000 or whatever. And I'm like, Atlanta's is closer, and God, please let this happen, man. Just please let it happen. So, and he called me back. I signed a contract like 1:30 in the morning. Like, I'm going to Atlanta, man. I called my mom, told my mom, and it was a sign of relief for everybody, because her biggest concern was not being able to travel and see me play. And that was really important to me. And, it was just a cool situation. It was amazing how God worked in times where you really need him the most. And I needed him right then, because family support was everything to me, especially being 20 years old and getting drafted.
So you go to Atlanta.
Man,
now.
hold on, man. So
yeah.
So you
20.
already knew. So see, that's the
the night before. Yeah, I'd already.
So, nah, man, I'm talking about you ain't worrying about what pick he was going. You was already #1.
Yeah, I mean,
you worried about the city.
I was house hunting already in San Diego, like.
San Diego's cool, but
like so when you in that field, if you gonna be the first pick, they'll grant you the opportunity to sign your contract early, and you the only person that know that you're going #1. They give you that liberty. You know what I'm saying? So I knew. So I signed my contract. So and the draft process, it was really cool, but draft day for me, it wasn't what I envisioned as a kid. Like, as a kid, I used to watch the draft every year and see guys. They just like, they're in the state of despair, and they're stressed out.
Yes.
And then their name get called, and they, yes. And so me, I already knew, so I'm sitting at the table, no joy, no nothing. We already know we going first. All right, man. Rest in peace, Paul Tagliabue. Hey, pull the card out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
Thanks, Paul. This is an amazing experience. I wish I would have. The element of surprise would have been great for me. I wanted that. I wanted that feeling like of not knowing, sitting there, head down, and then you hear your name called.
You trust me, you don't. I'm gonna say, you sitting there watching it, you thinking you going 10, and they call Joe Johnson. Who the f is that?
Like, damn.
Romanovich, where the f did he come from? Like, you just sitting, people like, oh man, you on the phone, like, hey, what? Am I in this draft?
I can relate.
All right, okay, all right.
Hey, yeah. So my cousin Aaron Brooks, shout out to my cousin Aaron. He was he like going through that process. He was telling me, because he got drafted 4th round in Green Bay, but he didn't get drafted to the 4th round, and it was like so nerve-wracking. Like during the draft, like he just left the house, left everybody in the house, and he just went and jumped on the interstate. And he just went and just started driving, and I'm like, man, you know, so it works out different for everybody. You know, I mean, I got lucky, but guys, you don't know where you're going. Yeah. You don't know where you're gonna get picked. And you see guys getting drafted in front of you, and you like, man, who the is that, man? Get out of here. Come on, man. So, yeah, it's nerve-wracking for sure.
So, 2001, you go to Atlanta, coinciding with really kind of an explosion of Dirty South hip-hop music. I mean, you got T.I., you and T.I. kind of came out at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that like for you just to be in that city that was just a robust, and obviously Outkast was doing what they were doing, they had been established, but just the crew of hip-hop artists and all, just the entertainment and talent and just the convergence of all that.
It was cool, man, just black entertainment. Like, you know, I'm kind of in the heart, in the mecca of like what's really trending right now. You know, before any social media or anything, it's like, so, you know, we grew up on Outkast and we grew up on, you know, Big Boy and we grew up on Ludacris. Like I was coming up, Ludacris was just hitting the charts when I was in college, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, to be able to see these people and then they embrace you, like, come on, we got you. Anywhere you go, you let me know where you're going, where you good, we're gonna take care of you out here. And you know, they just want you to play good ball. And maybe show up to a couple of their events here and there. But that was a part of the culture. So then, you know, after that it was Jeezy and T.I. and then Gucci came and man, these guys just started killing the scene, man. And it was, you know, our games was really like the club. It was like going to the club with football at a football field. Like, you know, the stands, stadium packed. It's jumping, man. It was a good time. Really good time.
That's crazy that it was a football, because they didn't have that on the basketball side. That shit was empty as shit. Like, damn, this is a lonely ass city.
We should have came to more basketball games to fill up the arena.
We used to be like, man, this Atlanta area suck, bro. And then you watch on TV, sold out. Like, maybe they need to put on some football jerseys. that arena suck, boy. You ain't gonna lie.
No energy, man. No energy.
So tell me, you know, T.I. hits you up, yo, come be in the Rubber Band Man video. And that's why I'm in college at that point. That joint comes on. And we rocking with you. We just like, yo, Vick is a legend. But you in there with Usher. Did you feel any pressure having to go toe-to-toe with Usher?
I was like, man, y'all gotta stop calling me to do these videos. I don't dance. I don't dance, man. Like, I love watching y'all from afar. Like, I just wanna be at the video shoot. I wanna be in the background having fun. When y'all say cut, come over here and talk to me for a few minutes. But, you know, it was fun, man, because they always tried to bring everybody along, and they wanted everybody to feel at home and feel like you was a part of what was being built. You know what I'm saying? So when they hit me about the Rubber Band Man video, you know, I was more than glad to go do it. You know what I'm saying? And T.I. was hot, fresh on the scene. And you could just tell when he was coming out that the rap was gonna be different. Like his jargon was different in terms of just how, you know, his delivery was. And you know, you got this little young kid from the South who, you know, stating his claim, you know, just different rap, you know what I mean? And you know, everybody embraced it. So from there, it was Jeezy, and this just took off, man. It was just fun to be in Atlanta. It was just a beautiful time.
So if y'all at the club together, who getting the nicest table?
They did it way bigger than me. I mean, T.I. and them dudes, like, they would call me over. They would call me over to hang with them. Even BMF was popping, you know what I mean? You know, shout out to the BMF homies. It was just all love. Like, I'm an athlete, I ain't no entertainer. So I was sort of an entertainer, but they do it different. Like, they got the bottles, they got the section, they got it. Is somebody about to perform over here. Man, let's go over there and hang with them.
I was not letting no rapper beat me.
I mean,
Not
look,
no bottle popping.
so you know, I did me, but them
Oh
dudes,
man, you was Superman, bro. You was.
But you know, my agent always told me, he was like, man, you know, keep your mystique. So I'm gonna tell you what happened to me when I first got to Atlanta. Dre Bly, good friend of mine, he was like, and I was hanging out with my boys, and I was getting out. I'm young, I got money now, and you know, I'm looking at football like it's a job, you know, but I ain't taking it super serious. And then Dre Bly came and told me, like, after we played the St. Louis Rams, he was like, yeah, word around the league is that you don't be in your playbook. So I'm like, what make you say that? He was like, you know, they say you partying too much. And I'm like, man, you playing Arizona. How the hell you hear something like that? But word travel. So my agent was always like, man, keep your mystique. Quarterback is what you need to learn everything that's going on the field before you step out there, so you ain't lost or feeling lost, or you know, you got to give yourself the best chance at winning. So that's what turned the tide for me. And then I realized, okay, I'm not like everybody else. I can't hang out to 2 and 3 in the morning. I can't pop bottles on a Wednesday night. Because you know, in Atlanta, every night is something popping, Sunday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. You can find multiple places to go and hang out. You know, y'all know.
I mean, JD, I remember the track.
Yeah, shout out to JD too.
I didn't know spots, but Wednesday night,
coming up,
every night they was getting something cracking. So,
so you wasn't, see, we, you know, in sports, we was like AI, Vick, rock stars. So, you know, and with AI, he's gonna party every night.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're 50.
and then the basketball schedule was totally different. Like, I mean, that's why it's the coolest sport ever, man. It's the coolest sport ever.
So I saw an interview you did with Jim Moore back in the day, and he was just talking about he used to give you the DVDs and you just throw them in the car. So it seemed like early in your career you were just getting by a lot on just natural talent, raw skill, ability. Yeah. Now when you look back at that now, you know, as an older man looking back at your life, how good of a player could you have been if you would have really locked in, I think just from your rookie season, just honed in, watched the tape, did all the prep work? You know, when you look back now in your career, how good of a player do you think you could have been?
Yeah, I would have been a lot better.
I'm saying, he's amazing.
Yeah, he was Superman.
I would have been a lot better.
But super duper.
What?
Man.
Yeah. See, this was the thing behind that. I just didn't trust. So I always felt like, because my game was different, that defenses was gonna come into a game and say, oh no, we're not gonna play Mike. This my trainer thought. We're gonna play him different this week. So everything we watched on film, or what I used to watch, I ain't trust it. I'm like, I'm different. I'm not. That's okay. That's the plan. That was the plan versus Drew Brees. Well, that was the plan versus Tom Brady. They about to play against me. They're gonna switch their whole defense up. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I ain't gonna watch film. I'm gonna watch enough so that I know when I see their base. I seen that. I seen this. I seen that. But I'm banking on them doing something different. So I never took the extra time or when I was in Atlanta, or went the extra mile to say, all right, so if they don't play these two defenses and they play this, they play something different, then how I'm gonna combat this? So that's probably why it led to me running a little more, because if I didn't beat them in the passing game, I'm gonna beat you with my legs. That's because I don't trust what y'all trying to do. When I got to Atlanta, when I got to Philadelphia, I started trusting what I seen on film, because what I started to learn and what Andy Reid told me is the defense, they not gonna just switch everything up because they playing you. What they teach in the beginning of the year and in training camp and OT is what they're gonna try to do. That's them. That's their makeup. Now they might throw some stuff in there here and there, but that's when I became a better passer, when I started paying attention to what the defense was actually doing. So I had to learn a hard lesson. It worked. I made two or three Pro Bowls just by, just going off, my knowledge of the game and what I, trusting what I knew. But it could have been totally different. Like, I probably would have made 10 Pro Bowls and probably had a couple Super Bowls.
It seems like usually when it comes to details, the details is usually when you're slowing down in life, right? Yeah. It's like in playoffs, right? We'll get this big ass booklet.
Yeah.
Like during regular season, ain't no damn scouting report. In the playoffs, we get booklets, so we know where you like to go, where you want to go, right. This and that. I mean,
everything.
And nobody give a about none of that, bro. I didn't want to look like I know him. Right. I know him. I know exactly what he's trying to do. I don't give a what they practiced in the last week or so.
It ain't gonna get us.
You know what I mean? They're not gonna change. So I don't give a what that playbook said. They're not gonna change as people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He don't go
He
left.
is who he is.
He ain't gonna learn it in a week. Then I'm gonna push his ass right. Or I'm gonna, you know. So that's how I looked at it. Like I studied the game, but when it came to like the X's and O's of like playbooking, that didn't.
Sometimes you got to go off your natural instinct.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had my best games just knowing what was going on, but yo, I'm in a rhythm.
Yep.
I'm in a rhythm. I trust what I see and I'm going.
How do you feel like your teammates responded to that? Were they on board with it, or were they looking at you sometimes like, come on, dog, like, you going rogue?
I think my teammates enjoy playing with me for the most part. I think they respect it because everybody kind of got theirs. Like, everybody got their just due. Like, it wasn't one guy who, there might have been a couple guys who thought they was, probably better than what they were, and I should have had, 80 catches this year as opposed to 55. But, it's not my job to explain what's working in the offense and what's not working. It's my job to come and win games, and I felt like we won enough. I felt like we won enough playoff games, and we had a chance to compete and play in the Super Bowl. And whether you did enough in that moment or not, and go back and watch the film, you can only blame yourself. So I felt like I did my job for the most part. It's only a handful of games I can look back at and say, man, I blew that one. Damn, this interception or this fumble was determine the outcome of the game. Because if I screwed up, I made it up. You know what I'm saying? But I know, a mistake in the first quarter don't justify a mistake in something that may happen in the fourth quarter. So I can always look at myself and say I could have done better. But who don't? Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I had teammates that were like, yo, I averaged 5 this year. I should have averaged 15. That's what's up. That's what's up. I wasn't going to pass shit ball.
Yeah, it's your problem, not mine.
No, I'm serious. Like, it's different. Like, our pay scale tells us who's going to shoot the ball. Like I went into games.
Definitely in your profession.
Yeah, like, we go into games, like let's say you playing and you going back to Virginia.
Yeah.
We all, you don't even gotta say nothing. We already know that, all right, he gonna shoot all the shots.
He gonna get his rocks off.
He gonna shoot all the shots today, so don't even worry about, like, so we in practice, like, we gonna be shooting around like.
Fall back.
Yeah. We ain't even gonna stretch real hard, because we know we ain't getting that. Like, when Melo went back to New York, listen, I know he ain't passing the ball.
Yep.
That's how you play the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, having conversations about, like, what you think you should have did, like, they ain't got nothing.
Irrelevant.
So, 24 years old, you signed the richest contract in NFL history at that point, 10-year, $130 million. How much pressure and responsibility did you feel to take care of your family and friends and to stay true to where you came from?
I think at that time, I was probably past the point of feeling like I owed anybody anything or wanted to take care. Because, I was already 3 years in, I made some money, so we was already kind of like, it was more so then about the pressure of living up to that contract. It's like, damn, I don't want to have all this money and be looking like trash. I don't want to have all this money and then I ain't executing. And then they saying, oh man, he got paid too early. He shouldn't have got that. Or my pressures was always internal, that I dealt with. Like, this mental space in my head, like nobody else could get into it. It's just me. And I just want to, fulfill my obligations to myself. I got to make myself happy. I got to please myself now, and pleasing myself meaning living up to this contract, So, but what I learned is, when you get that type of money, you can't pay a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? People around you can't really build a roster. You know what I mean? Like now the whole roster suffer because you getting all the bread, and now you got to get mediocre players. It's similar to what Russell Wilson going through right now. He's making a lot of money, and now you can't pay the people around you. Now you gotta make guys better. Now, Tom Brady did it at a high level because never heard about Tom signing big deals or big contracts. Never heard about New England paying people a lot of money. They coach them hard and they coach them to learn the game, and then they can spread the pot around.
Nah.
But everybody can't do that. Everybody can't do that, so I feel you.
You got to be the Kobe, bro.
Yeah.
You got to do the Kobe, bro. Like, it ain't my job to make this team better. It's you the billionaire.
Yeah, you figure it out.
Yeah,
You figure
and
it
that's
out.
how you win. You the
Right.
billionaire. What do you need me to take the pay cut for?
Yeah,
like,
you
you the
figure it
billionaire.
out.
You got luxury tax. You got whatever y'all gonna do.
Yeah.
Y'all do it. 130? Yeah, all right.
Because it was,
Yes, sir. I don't give a what the rest of the team look like.
I mean, it was times where I restructured my deal to sign guys. You know, I think 05, 06, certainly going to 07. I was restructuring my deal, maybe giving back $8-9 million here and there just to get a couple guys on the roster.
But don't you think that's like, when you look back at it, don't you think it's crazy? Like when players ask me, yo, should I take this pay cut? Like, listen, this is their business.
Yeah.
This ain't your business. This is
Right.
their business. Like,
Right.
they're trying to be billionaires. What are you trying to be?
Yeah.
You trying to be a champion?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to be
Yeah.
500 million?
What's the most important?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down
So
to.
as I say, what they're doing is they're playing to our childhood dream
Right.
is to be a champ. So they're like, hey, you know, you making $20 million this year. If you take a $5 million pay cut, I can sign this dude.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, dude, let me go ahead and
Right,
not
yeah,
knowing like,
yeah.
wait, hold on, bro.
Yeah.
Won't you just pay the extra $5?
Yep.
You pay the extra $5 and let dude come on over here. But they don't do that because
do
they're
that.
playing off of
Yep.
champion. We want to be champions.
Yep.
We want this. We want this.
Yep.
So we end up taking a pay cut. So they don't take that's what it is. So they don't take the pay cut. So if they making $100+ million a year, they don't want to go to 95.
Nah.
They don't want to go to 90. They want to stay at 100. So they come at the
I
players
learned-
banking on
I learned
us.
over the years that everybody about their own bank. Everybody gonna preserve what they got coming to them, and look, man, it's hard to pull it out of them, and it's really hard once you stop playing.
Yeah.
For real.
So I want to shift gears a little bit because you two both have a unique experience in terms of being $100 million athletes that face some adversity after bad decisions. So I want to know from both of you, and start with you, Mike. What was it like, obviously, when you went through your legal situations, facing the reality of going from being a superstar, you could go anywhere, you were the man, to now having that freedom taken away?
Yeah. Well, you gotta just look at everything like, man, you take responsibility. Like, bro, I knew what I was doing when I got into this. Like, I knew the consequences behind it. I knew it was a point in time where this could all blow up. Now, did I want that to happen? Hell no. Did it happen? Yes. And you ask God, like, man, why does that have to happen to me? But I already knew I was taking those chances, and I had every opportunity to walk away from it or correct it at certain points in my life, and just never did. But when I finally did, it was just too late. When I felt like, when I looked at the bigger picture, it was like, man, this don't mean nothing. Why am I doing this? It was too late. So, responsibility is everything. So I had to hold myself accountable, and even though that it hurt. It's like, man, look, I can't cry over spilled milk. Just affecting so many people around me, that hurt. That detriment, that right there, that got me. You know what I'm saying? That hurt me more than anything.
I was in a different situation.
I know you were
my money
halfway
was
joint.
guaranteed, so like I pretended that I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretending like, damn, man, they done suspended me for 50 games, bro. I'm in Miami partying. Yeah. This is the first. To me, it was different because it was the first time that I got a break, but you got to also remember I'm injured. So I'm 2-3 knee surgeries in. So I'm not who
you chilling anyway.
I'm not who I was supposed to be.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you was.
Yeah, so like my contract came because the owner was loyal to me for what I did. Got him out of the Jordan situation. Yeah. So he was like, yo, before I pass, you're gonna be the last person I sign.
Right.
So I don't give a what they saying about your knee. I'm signing you to this money.
Yeah.
So me. So like, I'm guaranteed. So y'all in 50 games non-pay, it's cool. I'll see y'all next year. Yeah, hey, you find me 50,000, I'm faking an injury for 50,000.
Yeah,
like,
no doubt.
I was one of those, like, it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's different when you're guaranteed, but like, I think that mine was more that I hurt my teammate in a sense where I pushed him to some place I shouldn't have.
Right.
You know what I mean? Making him react the way he did when that is my brother. You know what I mean? So, you know, trying to figure out how to protect him was my thing. That's why I'm the one who pulled the gun. You know what I mean? Because at some point, like once it got in trouble, it's like, yo, I need to protect dude. I can't really, you know, like let him take the fall like that. I can weasel out of here because I'm the franchise player, but I'm not gonna do that. That's why I just, okay, he got probation, he got whatever. Now I'll worry about me. But before that, you know, I need to worry about him. Like even to this day, we still talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, that's my guy. I can't, no matter if you in the box, you know, we still talk basketball, sport.
Yeah.
He gonna ask who I had this weekend. I'm like, yo, I had Vick on.
That's my guy.
How was he? You know what I mean? So, you know, it was just, you know, that was the most important, like, damn, you know, I kind of like this career up, you know, by, you know, being hot shot.
Right.
You know, that's the only thing I regret.
Yeah.
Everything else,
For sure.
You know what I mean? I was already hurt.
Yeah.
You know, if I had 2 good knees, y'all wouldn't have heard about no gun thing in the locker room, man.
Yeah, see, that's the thing,
I was bringing pistols in that thing all day, having paintball shootouts. Listen, I don't know if you ever heard the story about Nick Young? Yeah. We're in the middle of a gun, seminar, right? We're in the middle of a gun seminar. I go in the seminar with a BB gun, hold it to his back while they're talking, and then look right in his face and just shot him.
And shot him?
First of all, this is my arena. What y'all gonna do? Y'all some ex-NBA players. Y'all get the f*** out before I shoot the shit out y'all too.
Yo, you crazy.
You know,
Yeah, you wild.
Like I was wild. That was the funny part. So they knew I was gonna f*** up. They knew I was gonna. I remember when our owner died, a player, Brendan Haywood said, yo, hey, listen. They coming after you, boy. They gonna come after your contract. They gonna get off that contract, so your ass better be on your best behavior.
Right.
Man, they can't touch me, man. I'm Superman around here. They got me.
Got you.
Oh, they gonna get their bread. They gonna figure out how to get their bread.
They ain't get that.
Arbitration,
they tried to get a little bit of it.
They coming out.
They
coming out to you.
So let's move to the Philly years, which I'm sure were kind of, you know, redemption tour, getting back on your feet after 18 months. You come to that squad, and now you're in a role you've never been in before. You're third string quarterback playing behind Donovan McNabb, who hosted you on your visit to Syracuse. You guys had a good relationship. But one thing I've seen you say in interviews before is that, you know, even as a third stringer, you still had the skills and all the talent. So being in that position where you're now impressing in training camp, or you doing things on the field that are wowing people, how did you and McNabb's personal relationship kind of, you know, was there any strain on it? How did y'all adjust?
Our relationship took off. I mean, just to be in the room with him every day and just to hear him talk football, it gave me a different perspective on how I needed to approach the game. And I think Andy Reid paid attention to how, you know, me and him kind of was gelling. And, you know, I just kind of like sat back and just soaked everything in. Like now I'm with like the offensive guru. I'm with like one of the West Coast system originators and Andy. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna learn everything I can. I probably won't be here next year because I didn't think I was gonna play. I drafted Kevin Cobb in the 2nd round, so I didn't think I was really gonna be in Philly. And then Andy liked what he's seen. I spot played a little bit. And I had a 1-year deal with an option. And the option in the 2nd year was for like $5 million. And they picked it up. I'm like, damn. And then they cut Donovan a couple months later. I'm like, shit, you know, that's my man. Like, and he went to Washington. And so that kind of, right there, that's when I realized, like, yo, I'm still wanted. I still got the skill, and now I'm with the right coaches. Now, how do I take that and run with it?
So now let's shift to 2010. After that first year back, kind of getting your bearings back, Kevin Cobb, I think, goes down with an injury. You kind of thrust into the limelight, and, you know, just no looking back at that moment. So what was that like for you to be able, you know, a lot of people in life don't get a second chance to go do the thing that they love. And not only did you do that, you did it at the highest level, winning comeback player of the year. Think about that Redskins game.
Whoa!
Football team.
Hey.
Oh, wait. They were the Redskins then?
No. I've only watched one football game in my life.
That was it?
It was when you came to Washington.
You
were
still
at
there?
Yeah, y'all scored like 59 points. Y'all was in that mother cooking.
We scored. We beat them 59-10.
I'm getting booed. I'm getting booed. Man. I mean, that mother like, yeah, I know you niggas back.
That was definitely a breakout game.
Did you have any clue going into that game? Because first play from scrimmage, you hit D-Jack with the 88-yard
88?
I'm in the newsroom at NFL Network. We screaming, all the black people in the office screaming, like, oh, shit, he back.
Nah, it was, just backtrack a little bit. The game Kevin Cobb went out, just that season, I just kept telling my wife, like, because our life was different. I went through a bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't make the money. Like, the first year I came, I made like $1.2 million, and I was on a budget. And, they picked up the option for the next year, but it was the start of the season. And still, it just wasn't the money I was accustomed to or used to. I lost all my endorsements, shit, everything. So I'm just telling my wife, just always tell my wife on road trips, I love to drive. Like, I just need a shot. I just need a chance. I just need a chance again. Like, being a backup is not, it's not what I do. And she knows, she can hear the pain in my voice, but I ain't really stressing it though. I ain't really letting, I'm just like, I need a shot. And so when Kevin Cobb went down, like, I really wasn't ready. Like, I talked all this trash to my wife in the car, like, I just need a shot, I just need a shot. And then he go down and I'm like, damn, I ain't really prepared this week that hard. I didn't expect him to go out. Mm-hmm. And so I came in and everything just clicked. Like everything that I watched film that week, but it was like everything it was just like God just put everything back in my mind. And I just executed at a high level that day, and I was calm and I was comfortable, and it was like, this is me. I'm really playing the position like, I don't think he gonna get his job back after this. It ain't no turning back from here. And a couple weeks later, that's when that the game against Washington. And I was just like, I'm taking off. Like, this is my position now. This is my spot. I ain't giving it back. And, I'm here for a reason.
Did you have any feeling? I mean, what was the moment in that game? Obviously, was it that first play where you hit the deep bomb? Or what was the point of that game was like, I'm about to really do some historical in this moment?
Well, first of all, Washington, that was my grandmother's favorite team. So when I was in prison, she passed away. So, I used to always tell her when I was a kid, like, I'm never gonna lose to Washington. Like, I'm never gonna lose to them. I don't care what happened, I'm not gonna lose to them. And I just remember that day, because this was my first time playing them. She passed away, and it was my first time playing against them since she passed away, and Donovan had got a big contract before the game, and it's just all these things building up in my mind. I'm like, so on the sideline, like, man, hey, Grandma, like, I'm looking in the sky like, Grandma, I hate to go do this, but it's about to go down tonight. First play from scrimmage, and like, I got to hit him with the bomb. And then, it started to rain a little bit. Like, soon as that happened, it started to rain. And another day where I just felt the sense of calm, and the whole time in the game, I'm just thinking about my grandma, like, Grandma, I'm annihilating them tonight. Like, I'm killing them tonight. Like, this gonna be the worst beating ever. And that was just all in my mind that night. And I was like 20 for 22, 350 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, 80 yards rushing, like no wrong. Nothing went wrong that day. Everything went right. And it was just how, you never plan on it going that way, or you don't expect it, definitely don't expect it to go that way. It's just when you sit back and look at it, you just gotta be proud of it.
I was. No, because I thought football was so boring. I just you look at scores, you're like, man, 10 to 14. What kind of game is this?
Yeah, low scoring defensive.
So imagine you play with Vick all day. Vick's your guy, and then you like, Vick's coming to town. I need a boot. Like, I'm going to the game today.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if we have practice. I don't care about that. I'm going to the game. So I go to the game. I remember Sasha Jones got the suite. She got on a little Redskins jersey with talking about Donovan signing a new contract.
Yeah, he signed a contract the day before.
He about to get his ass ate up. And as soon as the game start, it's over. I mean, that like that. Y'all score like, what, 59?
You scored 59-10. 59-10, he owned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owned it.
59, that's basketball score. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like imagine going to a game, your first game, watching your player, and it's all the offense that you need. Like, I've never been to another game since.
Man. For real?
Mm-mm. Oh, no, I went to boring ass Rams game 2 years ago. That shit was boring. Yeah, it was boring.
Out here?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So got two more quick ones for you, then we'll let you dip out, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
want to take a look now at the current Eagles situation. You got Jalen Hurts, similar style player to yourself. Yeah. When you look at Jalen, he's had some struggles this year. There's been some talk potentially. Obviously, Gardner came in and got the win against the Jets. That's the Jets, so that's not anything to celebrate. But there's a certain contingent of Philly that was we need to change. But do you think Jalen is the right QB for the Eagles?
That's a good question, man. And me and Shannon Sharp, shout out to Shannon, man. Me and Shannon got into a little argument about this a couple weeks ago on Undisputed. And I just feel like he got potential. But you got to let these young quarterbacks go out and have these experiences. You got to watch them close, and you got to see how they respond to a lot of adverse situations. So, winning is great. Losing is even better because they can learn from their mistakes, and then, you give them 2 years and just see if you see a pattern. Like most guys show a pattern. They throw a lot of incomplete passes, or they throw interceptions in the clutch, or sometimes out the blue they just throw erratic passes. Like, what the hell was you thinking? Like he don't show me that. He showed me game control. He showed me that he can play the position from a mental standpoint and not, just kind of get out of whack. But I just got to see a couple more games out of him. I got to see another full season, because last year they didn't get to go through the rookie OTAs and, rookie camps and all that because of COVID. So this is like his rookie year. This is really his rookie campaign. So I just want to see him continue to learn from his mistakes. And I'll just say this. When your backup go in and ball, you got the ball. Mm-hmm. You got a ball from here on out, because now they're going to be looking to put him back in. And if anything go wrong, put Minshew back in the game. So now that's what you got to deal with. So to combat that, man, you got to go out and do you now.
See, this is not like basketball, because basketball, like if the team wants to go with young, they go young.
Yeah,
Win don't matter. Just go out there. I need y'all to do what y'all gonna do. Get all the experience that you can possibly. That's why John Wall's sitting on the bench.
That get me. Like, I don't understand that right now.
Because the team is not good enough for you to win, right? So I got
going young.
I got all these new young guys. I don't need you taking away from that. Yeah, no
same
offense
thing
to
in
you.
football. They do the same thing.
So just go out there. So winning, losing, making mistakes. Take 30, 40 shots. Do what you're gonna do. I need you to be ready for next year or the year after.
Wow.
That
makes sense.
But football, you got a young quarterback. For some reason, they're expecting them to win.
Yeah, they right out the gate, because that trend was set up by Ben Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan, and those guys won as rookies. So they set the bar high. They set the bar super high.
So Bryce Young, Alabama, just won the Heisman.
He just won it?
Just won it.
Missed the ceremony. All right.
Just
cool.
won it.
I was hanging with y'all, man.
You was hanging with us.
Yep.
But when you look at
cool.
Bryce, what do you think his ceiling can be as a quarterback?
I think he's still a sophomore, right?
Might be a freshman, right?
Might be a freshman, man. I know either him or the quarterback from Ohio State was fresh. But, I mean, that type of success early, you come back the next year and it's like, what do I do? Like, how do I get better? Do I go for another Heisman? Do I try to make it consecutive? He got to set new goals, because he already amassed and superseded anything that he probably envisioned in his collegiate career. So now it's about probably chasing perfection, and he really got to take his mind to the next level. Like, all right, if I'm gonna be a quarterback in the NFL, even though I'm playing in college, this is how I got to be as we go through it. You already proved that you can play. Now it's just about staying consistent. But unfortunately, when you're at the top, the only place you can go is down from there. You either stay at the top or you go down from there. So it's probably what he's dealing with. But I think he can handle it. I think he'll have the right support cast to be successful moving forward.
Well, I said football don't have what basketball has.
No.
Like I can leave, but let's say I don't want to go back. I need to, since he has to go back, is there any way he can just sit out this year and just train professionally?
He could sit out and train, but but NFL scouts, and they'll look at it. It took a year off. It's probably you need to be out there. You just need to be throwing. You need to be just staying involved in football mentally.
So you finished third in Heisman voting your freshman year. Some say you should have won it. But what advice would you offer to Bryce just about, where to go from here?
Just train harder this offseason. Train harder than you ever trained before. Just take it next level. Just start watching a lot more film and don't get complacent. Like, act as if you never even won that Heisman. That's just another trophy you can put on the shelf. Go get another one. That'll be my advice. Go get another one. Keep it simple.
The last question for you. When you look back at your life, your career and everything you've been able to accomplish, the highs, the lowest, the lows, being able to just redeem yourself, what do you want your legacy to be?
That I gave it everything that I had, on and off the field. Like, things that was out of my control, or things that I had under my control, I approached it like a man, and I dealt with it the way I was supposed to deal with it. So, as my kids, read about my legacy, or my kids, they grow up and they telling their kids about who I was, or if other people, guys like yourself telling your kids about it, it's gonna be all positive. It's gonna be positive. It should be. Everybody got blemishes. Everything is not gonna be the way you want it to be in your life. But, how do you come back from that? How do you combat it? So I wasn't the guy who shied away from it, stepped up to the challenge. I stepped up to the plate, made amends, kept moving. So, it's a stand-up dude at the end of the day. That's all you got to ask for.
Well, we appreciate you, Mike, for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. We'll be back with more very soon, but, this was legendary.
Sure.
Football Superman.